Interesting. Again, Bill Polian speaking on the fact that he believes that perhaps teams already knew, and that wasn't a big deal. The Twitter, the social media sabotage, not necessarily the result of him sliding down the draft board. Joining me now, Marcellus Wiley of Sports Nation. Marcellus, let me quickly get you to respond to that, because yesterday I was driving around, I was doing errands, and you were on radio doing a draft party, Rams draft party with Eric Dickerson, Beyonce and Jay in the elevator. If there is a video, you have to realize sooner or later it will be released in some form or fashion. So if they already saw, we're working on the assumption that they've already seen the video. Why would that affect his draft stock once it's made public?
Well, I think the NFL brass, and this is for all 32 teams, is starting to mature to a new reality. And the new reality is, if you know about it, everyone one day will find out about it. And I don't think a lot of teams want to make that assumption just yet, but case after case is starting to make the realization that you can't keep things behind closed doors.
Oh.
And the veil is now being lifted for moments like this, where you see a guy's draft stock plummet, as we've seen in the years past. Think about a Warren Sapp, a Randy Moss, rumors with Dan Marino. You've seen guys plummet before, but what took this to the next level was the video, was the visualization, and it was playing out in real time.
Okay, so then we get the context of the story. So help me wrap my brain around this. We hear that it could be a family issue, and the domestic violence allegedly is about, his stepfather perhaps hitting his mother. There are so many different things, and obviously when family's involved, it's always gray. It's never black and white. So as you're watching this kid slide down the board, what's your thought? Was it empathy, or was it tough lesson to learn? That's what you get. Welcome to the NFL, kid.
Oh, no, it was complete empathy. I tell you, it tugged at my heartstrings to the point where I was rooting for him to get drafted. Every single team as he started to drop. And it got to a point where I became a fan of Laremy Tunsil. I'm rooting for this guy going forward, because the reality is, imagine in your greatest moment of your young life. And I've been there before on draft day. And in that moment of truth, your low light is played in front of the world. And that's what happened to him.
Wow.
Right there in that moment. And I thought it was unfortunate in timing. I'm not absolving him of his wrong, but I think that the biggest wrong is the fact that someone sabotaged him in this moment. And even greater of a wrong is the fact that the NFL is still that disconnected and dishonest with its fans and with its players, that they don't understand that, look, we are young men.
Yeah.
We make mistakes.
Yeah.
You're born to die, and you live and you make mistakes. But what you do from those mistakes is what we need to be respected for. The NFL is still trying to play this game of perception or deception, of lying to its fan base. We can't have a guy on our roster that smokes marijuana.
No.
Oh, okay, really? Okay, we know the fact of the matter is there are some guys who do and some guys who get caught for it. But please don't go out there and try to put out there and portray that we need perfect citizens to be good players.
It's not fair, and it's not accurate. Okay, no. I appreciate that.
Yeah, we're in a new place, and the NFL needs to catch up to it, because this young talent will go out there and I think redeem himself and show the world that he's good for it.
All right, so you think he's a soon-to-be top 10 player in the league?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
easy.
You talk about guys would come in with a chip on their shoulder.
You
imagine the boulder on his shoulder? Oh, my
It'll be something. Marcellus Wiley of Sports Nation, thank you for joining us on SportsCenter Coast to Coast. David, back to you.